Yo, what's good with y'all? Today I'm showing y'all how to make samples for artists like Hunxho and Rylo. If you're new to the channel, make sure y'all hit that subscribe button. We're trying to hit 2K. If you haven't, make sure y'all go to the link in my description and follow me on all social medias, and especially join my Discord. We are in there every day collabing. And with that being said, let's get right into it. Alright, so if you've been watching my channel for a minute, you know that every time I start a loop, I always gotta start with a piano. So what we have right here is a very common pain progression. It's just the 1, 7, and 6. We are working in C minor. And all I did is just play some simple triads into a 7th for the G sharp major 7th. Only adding some little accents here just to create some bounce. And this is what it sounds like. So like I said, it didn't last long in this loop because I didn't want a piano in here. What I did was go into Analog Lab, copied the chord progression into the Found preset by Kiri Gerbs, and took out the bass note, and this is what it sounds like. So for the mix, like I always say, I keep my mix simple, not too many effects. What I did was just add an EQ, cutting out a lot of the lows, a fab filter, cutting out some of the mids, and then just a reverb, low cut turned up, mix turned down. After that, I went into Omnisphere and I grabbed this Growler Moog bass. It's a simple go-to sub bass of mine. And all I did was just copy and paste the bass notes, and this is what it sounds like. Next, I went into Analog Lab again and I pulled out this light preset. Shout out my boy Juko. And then all I did again was go into that first layer, copied the MIDI, and then all I did was just copy and paste it, and this is what it sounds like. I forgot to mention that for the second part, I inverted this C, going up an inversion or an octave, and then for this first C minor chord I turned it into a 7th just by adding this A sharp. My bad. For the effects, all I did was go into Fab Filter, did this bandpass narrow just because I wanted it. So like right here you have the lows and right here you have the highs. What I really wanted to do was just smush it together, if that makes sense. That's all I did. I added this little ambience plugin just to make it more wider, and then I added a reverb, turned the mix down, low cut up, and this is what we have so far. Then I went back into Analog Lab again, grabbing this LTBB preset by Killa Beats. It's another ambient pad. Same as always, all I did was just copy and paste. For these type of samples, you want to have a lot of layers that sync with each other, and I feel like I executed that perfectly. And this is what it sounds like by itself. For this pad though, I did change this up because instead of having it go an octave higher or adding it as 7ths, I didn't really like the way that it was sounding. So after that, my bass melody is done, and this is what it sounds like together. Like I said, keep these very simple. You want it to be ambient. I still have some more things I gotta show y'all, but in general, just try to keep these samples very ambient, because you still got to remember you have drums on here. And then for like Hunxho or Rylo's vocals, it's more like with a lot of reverb. So you got to just make sure it's very open. So after I was done with my bass melody, I knew it was just time to add some effects. So I had went into Splice and I found this vocal. Fire vocal. Like I said, I always put my R&B Vox low preset. Fruity EQ, cutting out some frequencies, vintage chorus, love filter, Panman, decapitator, reverb, and then some delay. Like I said, y'all can always copy this preset. Just make sure that you tune it to your vocals. And yeah, I had went into my stash and I pulled out this little transition. Went into Splice and found this. I had found a percussion loop. And then I had found this little ambience in Splice again. It's like a vocal, but I see it as just like a little texture. Then I use this birds chirping texture made by Xave. Shout out Xave. This is what it sounds like. What I do for this texture always is fit it to the BPM. And then I just turn it down a whole octave. And then altogether you have this. And for these effects, they don't really have much on the mixing, just some regular reverbs and small little EQs, but nothing too crazy. After that, when I was done, I didn't want it to be the original pitch. So before I exported it, this is what it sounded like. But I had went into sound shifter pitch, played with the pitch, brought it up some, brought it down some, and I felt comfortable at -5. So if you don't know, this basically just brings it down -5 semitones, like it says right here. So as you can see, we are in C minor, but with the sound shifter, we brought it down 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So technically the sample is in G minor, but looking at the MIDI, it would tell you something else. After that, I had stemmed it out and rendered it out, and then we have our sample. And then with a simple trap pattern, this is what you would get. And yeah, that's how I make ambient samples for Hunxho and Rylo Rodriguez. If y'all new to the channel, man, make sure y'all hit that like button. If you're new to the channel, man, make sure y'all hit that subscribe button. We're trying to hit 2K subscribers. If you did enjoy the video, man, let's try to hit 50 likes. Y'all have been going crazy with the support. So again, I always say this every video, but I genuinely appreciate each and every single one of y'all. With that being said, we got a whole lot more content on the way. I hope y'all do enjoy the rest of y'all's day. I'm out.